iPhone 14 is well into production, in preparation for that launch in September. And while your favorite fruit company would prefer to have all their secrets under wraps, it's not really how it's working out this year. Alright, so I'm not wasting any time with this video. Use the chapters below to jump to each feature and let's get into this. So there's a lot we already know about iPhone 14, which I covered in my last video. Now, the removal of the iPhone mini that was previously on the iPhone 12 and 13 will not make it onto 14, a new camera bump, or lack thereof, playing heritage to the iPhone 4 lineup, the possible return of Touch ID, and the most radical change, a brand new notch. Can we really call it a notch at this point? Hole punch maybe? Simply the I in iPhone maybe? I don't know. It exists. It's happening. But now we've got even more leaks coming out, and it starts with satellites. The iPhone 14 is supposedly getting a new form of communication through satellite dubbed emergency message via satellite. And this allows text to emergency services and contacts over satellite when there's no service available. And according to Mark Gurman, this feature will be implemented right into the Messages app, but instead of showing it as like a blue or a green bubble, it's going to show as a gray bubble to differentiate, which honestly is just another color to boost that desire of the blue iMessage bubble. But this is basically one of those features you won't really care about until you need it, but it will be a huge step forward in terms of cell reception for the future. Now, this one was originally rumored to launch with the iPhone 13, if you remember that. I even think I made a video about this. But it appears it might actually be coming this year for the iPhone 14. Now, it's not confirmed yet, but if you want to be updated once it is, now's a good time to make sure you're subscribed. Now on to the next feature, which is a taller screen on iPhone. And no, it's not like this. But Apple is rumored to be including the new hole punch design on at least the Pro models this year, also possibly the base ones. And when they do, it's rumored that the display will actually be slightly taller to accommodate this. Now, I'm not really sure if that means that they're going to be using the space better, like for example, putting the percentage back at the top where it actually belongs. But I mean, really, it could just be because we've heard the hole punch is going to be a lot more notch to love than we originally expected. I don't know. We'll see. There's also said to be a brand new processor coming to iPhone 14, like they do every year. But this time they're actually changing things up by not changing them at all. So apparently there's going to be a new A16 chip with better performance, better battery life, all that fun stuff. But it might only be coming to the iPhone 14 Pro series, leaving the two basic iPhone 14s with the same chip as the 13. All models are expected to come with 6 gigs of RAM, base level having DDR4 and Pro models having DDR5 RAM. And for context, the current iPhone 13s have 4 gigs of RAM while the Pros have 6 already. This upgrade to the type of RAM would actually mean 1.5 times faster speeds and 30% more power efficiency, keeping it in line with performance improvements that we see pretty much every year. Now also, for the first time ever, Apple is said to be ditching the typical steel and aluminum materials for iPhones and switching to a brand new titanium. This will make it way more scratch resistant, and bonus, it's also corrosion resistant too, if that's something you care about. Now lastly, a rumor that has surprised me but actually kind of makes sense is that Apple is supposedly ditching the physical SIM card. Likely at an angle of eliminating further waste, they're said to be making a large push for eSIMs that are just QR codes you can scan with your phone to electronically add that SIM. Plus, it also pushes further for that solid portless phone that they've always been wanting to accomplish. And now the only problem I have with this is with the cell carriers. So currently many of them are giving free SIM cards, but then they charge for eSIMs. And that eSIM is single use only, so you scan it one time, and then every time you switch phones, you'd have to pay to get another QR code. Honestly, I've been there. It's awful, especially if you test a lot of phones like I do. But all this news comes as Apple is allegedly advising major US carriers to prepare for the launch of an eSIM-only phone in 2022, which currently points to the iPhone 14, of course. Let me know, by the way, if you care about this at all. Do you care about a shift to eSIM down the line, or would you prefer to have a physical SIM in the iPhone 14? Now, in terms of pricing, it's expected that iPhone prices will raise by $100 this year, starting at $799 all the way up to $1199 for the Pro Max. This, by the way, is all in US dollars, but remember the good news is that iPhone 14 Max on the base end means not having to go all the way up to Pro Max for that massive screen. I'm calling this now, by the way. This one is going to be the most popular phone of the year for sure. Now, in terms of a launch date, this is probably the most certain you can be about an Apple launch all year long, as Apple always announces the next-gen iPhones at that September event. This year, it's expected to fall on roughly September 13th, with pre-orders beginning on September 16th and an official launch on September 23rd or 30th. And if all that's true, we're just 6 months away from a brand new iPhone lineup. And at this rate, we're going to get a lot more information before those do actually launch. So if you want to stay up to date on all of this news, now's a good time to hit subscribe. While you're down there, remember to hit that like button because it tells YouTube that videos like this don't suck. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.